the Steelers are a formidable opponent.
Oh, they sure are.
So I was thinking, I got to talk to somebody that knows a little bit about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and somebody that I we're familiar with, because at Collingswood we always used to play these guys. Paulsboro, we used to play Paulsboro all the time, and it was these guys are really good in football. So I thought, let's get one guy from Paulsboro that knows what he's talking about, who played for the Steelers. So let's go to the Barb's Harley-Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room a former Pittsburgh Steeler and Paulsboro native, Isaac Redman. What's up, Isaac?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
You know, Isaac, I played against Glenn Howard, my sophomore year. He ran me over. and your boy Kevin Ross, we stuffed him a few times, but he got. I texted the other day, and he got the better of me.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were talking on the text messages like y'all used to do them dirty, man.
Great athletes, and Isaac, I'm happy that you took some time to come on today, because I do have a respect for you guys down at Paulsboro. You guys are tough-nosed, hard-nosed football players and wrestlers. Great program down there at Paulsboro.
Yeah, absolutely. We breed great athletes. We consider it home of the champions. Every year the town rallies around, the high school sports. And, it's just a great atmosphere to be around, especially growing up.
And then, of course, you go to Maryland, and then from there you go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, where you played in Super Bowl 45. Talk to us a little bit. The reason why I got you on today, I wanted to ask you, because since you're from the Delaware Valley, the Philadelphia metropolitan area, but yet you go to Pittsburgh to play, you know how tough our fan base is, how loyal they are. Tell us a little bit about the Pittsburgh fan base and what's it like to play in front of that crowd.
The Steelers fan base is very similar to the Eagles. There's no fan like a Steelers fan or Eagles fan. I think Eagles fans are a little bit more harsh on the players when they're not doing as well. But the Steelers fans are crazy, man. Wherever you go, the people recognize you. Great fan base. It was times that we might go play Tampa Bay and we have more Steelers fans in the stadium than Buccaneers fans. So just being able to live that life and being out there in Pittsburgh, you get that rural treatment out there.
Yeah, hey Isaac, it's Scott McKay. It's funny when Billy told me that he was getting you on, and he said, he's from Paulsboro. First thing I thought of was wrestling.
Yeah.
And they've just been. I mean, I grew up in this area. I went to Cherry Hill East, and they've just always had a dominating wrestling program. And I learned a little bit more about your football program. You won 3 Group 1 championships while you were playing there at football, and you also won a state championship as a wrestler. What sport did you really feel that you were? Obviously, you went into pro football after that, but did you feel you had a good chance of being a great wrestler too?
I wrestled since I was in 4th grade, but it was just something about wrestling that I really never really liked. It probably wasn't losing the.
You mean grappling with another man's wedding?
I love the sport and love to watch it now, but when I was playing, I think it was the constantly losing weight and cutting weight and having to deal with that. And you build yourself up during football season, and then right after football season, now you're cutting all this weight for wrestling. And it was just a little bit too much for me. So my junior year, I actually didn't wrestle. I sat out my junior year, and then I came back my senior year and won a state title. But I only came back for the benefit of the team. Our team was had been like 30 years before we hadn't lost a conference game match in 30 years. So they were saying if I didn't come out, we would lose. Because I didn't go out in the beginning of my senior year. They thought, you don't come out, we're going to lose for the first time in 30 years in a conference. And I'm like, oh, man, don't put that.
No pressure there.
So I wind up coming out for the betterment of the team and wind up winning the state title.
We're talking with Isaac Redman, a former Pittsburgh Steeler and a Paulsboro native, Paulsboro, New Jersey native. Isaac, let's talk a little bit about Coach Tomlin, because, looking at preparing for today and preparing for the Steelers tomorrow, the Eagles, I'm like, Tomlin, man, what a record he's compiled. What makes him tick? Why is he such a great coach?
I think it's just the respect that the players have for him. As a head coach, You demand that respect. The players trust him. They believe in what he's preaching. And, when the players respect you and trust you, and, they'll run through a brick wall for you. And no matter, how bad things get over there, Coach Tomlin still preaches the same morals, the same values. And, he has that utmost respect for those players in the locker room. And, as a head coach, that's all you can ask for. And those guys believe in him. And week in and week out, and they're going to give it their all on the field. That's what I took from my time being there. I always looked at him as a great coach, as a great mentor. You can come to him for anything. He's, very understanding. He's a player's coach. And, so, when you have those qualities in the coach, the players will do anything you ask them to do.
Yeah, but you know what? For his record, Scooter, if you look at his record, he is regular season record. He's 136, 73, and 1. That's astounding. He's got 2 Super Bowl appearances, and of course, you played in Super Bowl 45 against the Packers.
Mm-hmm. I talked to a coach. I was doing an internship, and I was with the Cardinals, and I was like, I want to pick these coaches' brains. So I'm like, I'm asking all the coaches, what makes a great coach? And all these coaches are giving me all these great answers. There's dedication, loyalty. I asked Coach. I asked one of the coaches. He had been around for about 50 years. I said, Coach, what makes a great coach? He said, great players. He said,
right? Yeah, that's right.
Sure right. You're absolutely right. Hey, Isaac, after you went through your football career in the NFL, you ended up kind of parlaying that. You've been a coach now, coaching a youth football team with like 7th and 8th graders. I got to ask you, because earlier on the show, we had a conversation about where kind of society has gone today with the kids. Your parents can't do this, you can't yell at them, you can't do what. How do you see that as a coach today for younger kids? And I'm a ice hockey coach at Cherokee and Marlton, but how do you see where it is dealing with the kids today and trying to motivate them and keep them going when it seems like we're in a little bit of a softer society?
Yeah, that's been a tough situation for me to deal with. I just look at it as you can't please everybody. If as a youth coach, if you try to go every year and try to please every parent, you're going to drive yourself crazy. So, I just try to treat everyone the same, everyone fairly. And, the best players will start. You try to make sure every kid gets good playing time. And, you put the same effort in with your best player as you do with your worst player. And you treat everybody fairly. And, I do my fair share of yelling. I have parent meetings and tell them, like, hey, sometimes I do yell. If you can't handle it, this may not be the sport for your kid, but you're not going to ever go to a football team and where a coach isn't going to be doing some type of yelling. So I just make sure I treat everybody fairly and just try to teach these kids the game of football, how to play it the right way.
We're talking with Isaac Redman, former Pittsburgh Steeler, played in Super Bowl 45, Paulsboro native. Isaac, I know you said you dabbled in coaching, but Kevin Ross, he's down with Tampa Bay with Bruce Arians, and do you have any aspirations maybe of taking this step maybe to high school or college or whatever?
Yeah, definitely. I was supposed to do an internship because when I did my internship with the Cardinals, Bruce Arians was over there. I'm trying to set up an internship now over at Tampa Bay. They also have Todd McNair over there as the running back coach.
Temple.
And he's from Temple, Pennsauken guy. He's like an uncle to me. He's married to my first cousin. So I have a lot of ties over there with those guys. Me and Bruce Arians has a really good relationship. But after my internship with the Cardinals, I just was like, I don't know if I'm really ready quite yet because my kids were still so young, and I just I wanted to be able to do the football games and the coaching with my kids right now, and I'm having a good time coaching my son's 9-year-old team.
It's funny you say that. I was just going to bring that up. You have 2 young boys, Hayden and Carter, and are you going to push them in to try to do what you did? Push them into playing football or pro sports, whatever it is they want to get excited about.
Yeah, the one thing about them is they love the game naturally. I actually just had another boy. He just turned 1. His name is Chase. So I'm breeding.
You gotta go to the movies more often, Isaac.
Yeah, but they both love the game of football. Hayden is 9. Carter is 4 now. Carter actually, it's his first year of football. They have a 4 and 5-year-old Pee Wee team. where they play full pads, and he's loving it. Just a bunch of kids running around, not knowing where to go. But it's just funny to watch. But they both love the game, so I never have to force anything on them. If they want to play, they play. If they don't, they don't. But right now, football is life around in this household.
All right, Isaac. One more question before we let you go. After playing the NFL, what's your fondest memory of playing in the NFL?
My fondest memory, I would say going to the Super Bowl. I know we lost, but I just being able to be there and being able to take my mom to the Super Bowl because my mom's such a big Steelers fan. I mean, such a big NFL fan. She actually hated the Steelers as I was growing up. She diehard Eagles, man. She diehard Eagles, but her dream was to always go to a Super Bowl. So just to be able to take my mom to a Super Bowl was definitely probably my fondest memory.
All right, give me a prediction for Sunday. Eagles Steelers at Heinz Field at 1 o'clock. Come on, Isaac, give us the pick.
Don't do me like that.
Come on, Paulsboro.
I'm a Steagles fan. I'm going to go 17-17 tie. 17-17 tie.
There you go.
Oh, we can't afford another tie.
You're right.
All right, Isaac. Well, listen, man, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We'll be able to keep in touch with you, and thanks for being a friend of the show.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, there he is, Scooter. Isaac Redman on the Barb's Harley-Davidson Sports Hotline.